Hey everybody, good Thursday evening. This is the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast, weather for weather geeks. And wow, what a nice treat we had today. It was just as nice as expected. We got into the lower 40s this afternoon. We had lots of sunshine. It's been a long time since we've had a sunny afternoon. This just covers the last couple of weeks where we've had more clouds than sun just about every day. But of course, this relatively cloudy streak extends back into the month of December, and it's not all that unusual, of course. And you've probably seen me show this graphic many times. At this point, December and January are easily our cloudiest months of the year, and we live in one of the cloudiest parts of the country. Now, has it been a little bit cloudier than average over the last month or 6 weeks? Yeah, even by our already cloudy standards, it's been pretty overcast. So today was a real beaut, and our low-orbiting satellites got a nice shot of the region today. Of course, pretty much ice-free on Lake Erie with just trace amounts of ice. If you look real carefully, maybe you'll spot a couple of shards of ice. That is about it. All of the white in northeast Ohio, western PA, this is all snow cover, not cloud cover. Down here closer to home, there's Mosquito Lake, Pymatuning Reservoir, partially frozen. And the snowpack definitely gets a little bit deeper up in the primary snow belt of northeast Ohio and northwest PA. We lost a little bit of our relatively shallow snowpack today with the temperatures in the lower 40s and the bright sunshine we had this afternoon. Things are pretty quiet across a lot of the country this evening. Chilly rain occurring in parts of the deep south, and some snow showers trying to start to get organized around the Great Lakes. We have a cold front heading our way. It's pretty easy to find that front out there this evening. It is moving across the upper Midwest, the southern Great Lakes. And while it's not going to be quite as cold here as it is in Fargo this evening, that's where our air mass is coming from, and that will activate the lakes tonight and into the day tomorrow. Did not mean to show you the futurecast wind gusts, so we'll just skip on past that. All right, let's talk about Friday. Cold front moves in. The lakes start to get active. Now, this isn't the best lake effect setup in the world, but some shallow lake effect and lake enhanced bands will get going on our Friday, and this will be enough to lead to some small accumulations and some localized reductions in visibility. It's going to be a blustery and colder day on our Friday. Now, the snow showers and flurries will probably shut down late Friday evening into the overnight. I can't rule out a stray flurry or two Saturday morning, especially northwestern PA, but as high pressure noses in, that should shut down the lakes for the time being. Warm front heads our way Sunday, and, well, it's not exactly going to be a real balmy day Sunday. It'll be a better day. We'll see temperatures closer to 30 instead of the mid-20s. This warm front might also touch off a couple of flurries Sunday, midday, and afternoon. All right, let's talk about our system for early on next week. Still more questions than answers as far as the details. What we know is there's going to be an area of low pressure that's going to eject out of the plain states and make the trip up the Ohio River Valley. Now, what we don't know is the exact track of this low. This is one model depiction that I'm showing you. Much like last evening, this is the most current run of the European model. A lot of times we advertise the European model as the most reliable mid-range model, and on average, that's right, but there are times in which it is going to play catch-up to some other models. It's going to end up having a less right idea than some other models. We don't know which model has the best handle on this just yet, but on average, of course, in the medium range, the European's it has a better track record, I should say, than a lot of our other modeling. So I like to display it graphically. By all means, though, it is not the answer key, but I got to show you something. So here's the European for Monday. Taken literally, this would suggest after some flurries Sunday, we get a break in the action for a lot of the daylight hours on Monday, and then precipitation pushes in towards sunset. And taken literally, it comes in as a little snow, then transitions over to some sleet and freezing rain, and then ends probably as some light snow by Tuesday morning. Now, this is just one model depiction. Again, not the answer key, but it shows you what the possibilities are. I think the best chance for enough snow to shovel and plow, it'll probably be across the I-90 corridor, Chicago, Toledo, Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo, Rochester, something like that. I think odds strongly favor some sort of mix or even just rain for a good chunk of the I-70 corridor for a time Monday into Monday night. And then we're kind of in that in-between zone closer to I-80 where I think everything's on the table at this point as far as the type of precipitation and the impacts go. Here's a look at the medium range modeling that we have available right now. So we have the Euro, the GFS Ensemble, looking at the snowfall accumulations through Tuesday morning, and it's all pretty modest right now. Inch or two, taken literally some of these models, but again, we have more questions than answers at this point, thanks to what we have going on as far as the available model information, all kind of having some subtle differences. So I did want to load up real quickly here. I forgot to load it up beforehand. I did want to load up the February initial outlooks from the Climate Predictions Center. We're going to zoom forward to the end of my show here. Sorry about that. I thought I had them in my rundown, but turns out I didn't. The CPC finally put out their February outlooks today. I don't have any arguments with their initial outlooks here. Odds favor warmer than average temperatures pretty much everywhere east of the Rockies, with the highest odds of a warmer than average month being down towards the Gulf Coast, and the only spot in the lower 48 in which odds favor a cooler than average February occurring out in the Pacific Northwest. As far as precipitation goes, across the Pacific Northwest, the upper Midwest, parts of the Great Lakes, and kind of close to our area, odds favor a wetter than average month, while drier than average conditions are favored across the south. These maps look a little more like classic La Nina than we've seen in the winter so far. Our forecast is doing pretty well, but when you look at the country as a whole, the anomaly maps so far this winter actually look a little more like an El Nino winter than a La Nina. These temperature and precipitation maps look a little more like classic La Nina stuff. Right now, I would say personally, I'm pretty confident that the first half of February will be pretty balmy. Now, the second half of February, that remains to be seen at this point, but at least the first half of February, all the model information right now is suggesting that February could get off to a pretty balmy start across our region. So that may tilt the entire month towards a warmer than average outcome, even though the second half of the month may be colder, kind of like January. We really ran up the score this January during the first half of the month. The second half of the month, well, not shockingly cold, and certainly nothing like some past Januaries. On average, the second half of January this year is going to be a fair amount colder than the first half of the month. All right, that's enough rambling from me. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks tonight. I'll have updates on the weekend forecast and that system early next week. Coming up Friday evening. I'll see you then.